let's talk about Google. The internet search giant and do everything company that reminds us there's a poetic irony to the fact that we are about to make fun of them. And we wrote all of these jokes in Google Docs.
Earlier this summer, elected officials in San Jose held a press conference in one of the city's finest parking lots to announce Google is interested in building a massive new office complex downtown. You could tell this was a serious announcement because Mayor Sam Liccardo was quoted as saying,
God! Legos!
Hey, hold on, girl, you're doing too much.
It would help to change San Jose's reputation as a bedroom community. More than 1 million people live in San Jose, but not nearly as many people work in the city. Instead, they commute to neighboring cities like Palo Alto and Mountain View, and spend their days thinking about things on their commute, like parallel universes in which Hillary Clinton is president, and somehow things are even more f***ed up. Oh, that's right, you failed to consider First Gentleman Bill Clinton in the reboot of Eyes Wide Shut starring Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That shit would be hot like a donut, fresh out the oil.
With a projected $35 million budget shortfall next year, San Jose desperately needs more jobs and tax revenue, which allows cities to pay for street repairs, police officers, firefighters, libraries, soulless blood-sucking meter maids, and a lot of really other important stuff like more emotional distress counselors for people of color. If only a mega tech company would move downtown and pay for all these things. Things will be better when Google comes. For the last decade, the land for the proposed Google office has languished, reserved for Oakland A's new baseball stadium. The hope to lure Moneyball south was extinguished in late 2015, when the Supreme Court refused to hear San Jose's challenge to baseball's antitrust agreement signed in 1922. Which is also the same year a 24-year-old woman named Teresa Vaughn confessed to being married 61 times in 50 cities in 3 countries. So yeah, a lot of bad decisions were made in 1922.
Now, in 2017, Google coming to San Jose would absolutely lessen the sting of missing out on the A's and learning to appreciate the nuances of fiscally conservative baseball that sucks.
The new office complex would spawn surrounding bars, restaurants, and retail. The project would also help the city realize the potential of its underdeveloped downtown core. But not everyone is quite excited about the prospect of Google coming to town. Probably because anyone who talks about not being evil or racist is probably evil and racist.
Meet Ed and Rocio Salcedo, brother and sister business owners. Ed owns an auto body shop passed down by their father, and Rocio owns a neighboring auto detail business on Autumn Street. This puts them in ground zero of where Google proposes to build 8 million square feet in office space.
A few months ago, a man came to their businesses asking if they would like to sell the properties. They said, "No way." But a feeling of terror came over Ed when he realized Google was the actual buyer.
I like that San Jose is growing, he said. It's going to be changing, I know that. But I'm worried about what that means for my business and the people who work for me. I don't know if we can survive a move. Google will kick us out of here. It's a matter of time.
That's not only a concern for the Salcedos, but other small businesses in the area. The clock is now ticking on places like Poorhouse Bistro, a popular music venue and restaurant.
And then there's Patty's Inn, a beloved dive bar that's so divey, it's where other dive bars go to get drunk.
These might be less glamorous businesses than Google or the glittering bars and restaurants found at Santana Row, but Poorhouse and Patty's each have character and tell a story about San Jose's history, which is evaporating at an alarming rate.
When the city announced it was negotiating to bring Google to San Jose, Mayor Sam Liccardo quipped, "As far as I know, the only revered occupant who's being displaced by Google's arrival is the dancing pig on Stevens' meat sign." That
pig. Last year, a study found that San Jose has the 5th most expensive rent of any city in the nation, with an average 1-bedroom apartment costing $22.70, which equals my entire paycheck and 2 Kickstarter campaigns.
As Bay Area property values increase and the cost of rent goes up, many longtime residents in the Google zone will face the prospect of being forced out in favor of newer, more affluent renters. UC Berkeley's Urban Displacement Project recently found that the Diridon Station area is one of the most likely places in the Bay Area to suffer gentrification.
And this is how Stanford University law professor Rich Ford describes gentrification: revitalization that has no obligation to the current residents and begins to push out and destroy the fabric of a community. The result is people start to feel like strangers in their own neighborhood. White people up shit.
Mayor Liccardo and the San Jose City Council have tried to assure the public that Google won't be getting any tax breaks or subsidies and the city will drive a hard bargain. That all sounds well and good, but just last December the mayor and city council slashed construction-related taxes and park fees for high-rise developers, the kind of folks who gave us the architectural marvel that is One South Market. A box of shit so blue that every lease agreement includes a Zoloft prescription.
You need that Zoloft.
Gotta have it.
It's these kind of breaks for smaller projects that should give San Jose residents pause when it comes to city officials promising they're going to be able to negotiate a great deal with Google. The search giant's parent company, Alphabet, is the second most powerful company in the world behind Apple.
Man, San Jose needs more jobs than just Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs and both those punk-ass movies made about him.
The good news is we have time to keep elected officials accountable by paying attention. The city expects to sign an MOU, or Memorandum of Understanding, with Google in March of next year. Before that agreement is hashed out behind closed doors, you can call your city council member and demand details, attend community stakeholder meetings, and call the mayor's office.
You would be shocked how much these people care about an angry phone call or an email.
Just don't be evil.
Or racist.
Or Steve Jobs.